Right now they're popping off tear gas canisters and folks are just running like crazy and it's just chaos out here. I'm gonna have to get out of the way.
Being struck by a vehicle while desperately fleeing an ICE raid. Here's what we know.
Most people think that ICE is only going after undocumented immigrants who commit serious crimes, but that's not the full story. Not only are American citizens being wrongfully detained, questioned, and even attacked, but many immigrants who aren't even committing serious crimes are being seriously hurt. And now ICE is even going into schools, places that should be safe for children and families. This isn't just about immigration anymore. It's about our rights, our safety, and our freedoms. Welcome back to The Imperfect Dollar. Let's talk about what's really happening, why it matters, and why every single one of us should be paying attention.
Look at this. Just right now.
We're outside the Home Depot near downtown LA, where federal agents were seen arriving in the box of a Penske moving truck. In videos obtained by CBS News, we see federal agents arriving, spilling out into the parking lot, and running after some of the day laborers and street vendors that were on the lot.
On August 14th, ICE conducted a raid at a Home Depot in Monrovia, California. During the operation, a man fled on foot and ran into the 210 freeway, a major interstate with 4 lanes in each direction. He was struck by a vehicle, hospitalized, and later died from his injuries. As of now, he remains unidentified. Monrovia City Manager Dylan Feek confirmed the incident in a statement later that day, but noted the city had not received any communication from ICE, and the incident had not yet been officially reported at the time. A DHS spokesperson claimed the man was not being pursued by ICE, and said they were unaware of the incident until after operations in the area had ended. 10 people were detained during the operation. One, according to community advocates, was struck in the leg by an ICE vehicle. Protests followed outside the Home Depot, with demonstrators calling the death indirect manslaughter. The investigation is ongoing as community members continue to demand answers.
My uncle was a good person. The only thing he wants is give you the better life for his family. He don't deserve this end. I hope this not happen again. We are not doing anything wrong. We're doing the best we can and give you the best of us, this country. So I hope they understand that.
This was such an act of desperation by ICE. I mean, to go into Home Depot parking lots, to go and grab people who are day laborers, they're trying to actually make a living, take care of themselves and their families. They are not looking for free government handouts. They're trying to find a job for the day so that we can make some money and put some food on the table, pay rent. But ICE swarmed and swooped in their Penske trucks and other rental trucks that they have, and grabbed all these people. And he was one of them that ended up fleeing in Monrovia. Unfortunately, he ran onto the 210 and was hit by a car and then later died of his injuries. The really, really sad part about it is that ICE didn't recognize it or let the local government know what was going on until several hours after they finished their raid. I feel so bad for his family. He has 4 children that will no longer have a father. He was an illegal immigrant, and there are ways to come here legally, but did he deserve this? Should he be that afraid that he had to run for his life? And there's also people that are in detention centers now that have been detained by ICE that are getting sick because a lot of these detention centers are unsanitary and they're getting injured by ICE and not getting the treatment that they need. They are people too. Yes, they should come here the legal way, but is this all happening the right way? You let me know what you think.
Carrie Lopez Alvarado was 9 months pregnant and working maintenance at a building in Hawthorne. ICE agents pulled up to the private parking lot where she was working and said that they were following allegedly 2 undocumented immigrants, one of whom was her partner. She said, "This is private property and I'm going to need you to leave." The agents refused. They arrested her. They put her in a car. And while she was arrested, said, "You're from Mexico, right?" She said, "No, I was born here in LA in Hollywood Hospital." She was later released and given no documentation or citation in connection with her arrest.
So an American citizen who's 9 months pregnant at that gets detained by ICE, handcuffed and taken away. She tells them that she was born in America, but they still take her. And then when they release her, they don't give her any documentation or paperwork whatsoever. How is that right? It's not. You can't make that right. I honestly hope that she sues. I hope that she sues and she gets everything that she deserves to take care of herself and that baby.
Will you first tell me just what it was like the moment when you realized what was happening at this farm? You work for a third-party contractor, you're a security guard at this farm. And just describe, did you realize when all these folks roll up that was ICE?
My first thoughts were in shock. I was in disbelief that all this was happen. Honestly, I thought it wouldn't be a problem to go to work as long as I did nothing wrong, as long as I identified myself, who I was. And clearly it didn't matter if I was a citizen or if I was a veteran or if I identified who I was at all. It didn't matter to them.
Tell me about the moment when you're in your car amongst this chaos, when you actually get apprehended by ICE and what you said to them.
When I was getting apprehended, then they were banging on my window to leave or to get out. There was multiple officers telling me to do different things. Some were telling me to keep reversing. Some were banging on my windshield to get out. And I was trying to tell them, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'll get out of here. I don't want any problems. I'm trying to reverse. I can't breathe because of the tear gas in my car. I can't reverse. I can't continue to reverse while there's protesters behind me. And you guys are banging on my window and just surrounding my car. And they didn't care. They continued to bang. They ignored everything I said. And they broke my window and they dragged me out.
Did you tell them you're a citizen?
I did. That was the first thing I mentioned when I pulled up to where they were all lined up. I got out my car, and that was the first thing I let them know was I'm a citizen.
Have been detained and held in immigration detention centers since federal agents descended onto Los Angeles' streets in early June. Hope Garcia was taken into custody at Home Depot in Hollywood on June 9th and held in federal prison for several hours without charges.
The first thought that came was this is probably what George Floyd felt like. He had their knee on his neck.
That sounds really scary.
That it was, because I started to feel like there was some sort of interruption in my breathing pattern. And fortunately, they got me up. But yeah, that was a very scary situation.
Are they permitted to do that? Absolutely not. It represents, in my experience, and I've been doing this a long time, the most serious abuse of power with respect to law enforcement in immigration operations.
Capitol in Maine has documented 9 citizens who were taken into custody by agents with ICE or U.S. Customs and Border Protection in the LA area since June 6th. 2 are facing federal charges. The ongoing raids have even drawn the criticism of 6 California Republican state legislators who sent a letter to President Donald Trump asking for ICE and the Department of Homeland Security to change course.
No one wants to be caught up in the pathway of those raids because it could compromise the family as a whole.
The Department of Homeland Security said in a statement to Capitol in Maine that threats or acts of violence toward law enforcement officers will not be tolerated. Secretary Noem has made it clear, if you threaten or attempt to harm a law enforcement officer, we will find you and prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. Attorney Ernest Herrera, who is representing Hope Garcia, says the federal government's actions go against American values.
And it looks more like the behavior of a crackpot military dictatorship in a different country. But it's here, so we can't really say this is foreign. This is happening right now in our country.
Los Angeles, it's not just first-day jitters, but a genuine fear of being swept up in immigration raids. So before class, teachers and volunteers are on patrol, providing safe passage for students and looking out for federal agents.
Our job is to protect and to make sure we document and to make sure we have the names so that if someone is kidnapped, their family can find them.
The Trump administration has said schools won't be targeted, but LA Unified told us federal agents have tried to enter elementary schools on 2 occasions. And earlier this week, they detained a teenager at gunpoint outside an LA high school. The student was released, but the incident is adding to the fear.
Students show up with their birth certificate because they were afraid that they would get stopped on the way to school.
That fear is now a daily routine for this undocumented mother of 3 U.S. citizen children.
Cuando escuchamos que andan alrededor, corremos o nos escondemos y él tiene miedo.
She told CBS's Nidhi Cavazos her 8-year-old begs her to stay inside, afraid of the walk to school. Superintendent Alberto Carvalho says that's unacceptable.
Can we not agree that at least 2 blocks around every one of our schools, 1 hour prior to the school day and 1 hour after the school day, let's refrain from having these types of activities?
This is why we can't stay silent. ICE isn't just targeting undocumented immigrants with serious charges. They're hurting innocent people, going into schools and even violating the rights of citizens. When an agency crosses those lines, it's not just their problem, it's all of ours. What do you think about all of this? Should this be allowed to continue? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if this opened your eyes, make sure that you like and subscribe so that you don't miss what's next. Because in my upcoming video, we're going to talk about why people are freaking out over cuts to food stamp benefits and how it's affecting families across the country. Take care of yourselves.